كثرة ذكر الله. Plenty of dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Why? Did you think about it? If we practice the dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal consistently, sincerely, never giving up, whether it rains or shines, you know what happens with dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal, consistent and persistent, whether it rains or shines? You understand what that expression means? Whether in prosperity or adversity, all kinds of adversities, all kinds of prosperities. Dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal works on the heart. And when dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal works on the heart, as Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us, as Allah tells us, the heart is cleansed, purged, purified, yusaffa, tasfiyah, tazkiyah, tathir of the qalb. And when the qalb is purged, cleansed, what happens? The inner eye of our qulub, as we call it, sees clearer the knowables. Dhikr cleanses, and then the basira is able to perceive the reality of things, not the superficiality of things. Not the shallowness of things only, but the depths of things, the realities of things. And then it begins to see beauty as beauty, and ugliness as ugliness, whether physical or in meaning, moral and spiritual. And when we see beauty the way it is, the qalb sees divine beauty exposed, manifested in creation. And when the qalb sees beauty, it loves. When the qalb is cleansed through dhikr, the qalb sees divine beauty and naturally falls in hubb, love with the divine. Dhikrullah. Dhikrullah. Inna likulli shay'in saqalatan wa inna saqalat al-qulubi dhikrullah ta'ala, as Rasulullah in the authentic hadith said, everything has a means by which to be purged and cleansed, and the cleansing agent of the heart is dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second, when we contemplate the ni'am of Allah Azza wa Jal upon us, in us and around us, when we contemplate the favors, the bounties, the gifts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our lives, in us and around us, and in the world, in the outer world, the more we ponder, we reflect in depth, shuhud. Shuhud here means deep insight into something with your inner eye. When we have that insight of the gifts of Allah, of the favors of Allah upon us, we develop hubb, love for Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because naturally Allah made us to incline towards anyone who does good to us, isn't it? And if we have that deep insight into what we have in this world, in us and around us, of gifts, all of us, no matter how hard our lives could be, we all have gifts. We all have ni'am. We all have bounties. Wallahi alladhi la ilaha illahu. We all do. Everyone. The one who thinks of herself or himself the most miserable is one who has a lot of gifts from Allah Azza wa Jal. And when we are in shuhud of that, in true sight, spiritual sight of that, we develop love, hubb love for the giver, for the muhsin subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's how we develop it also. Thirdly, shuhudul ala'i wal ayat. When we also develop deep insight into all the signs of the divine in His creation, to the extent that some, when they look at anything, when they hear the sound of anything, they remember Allah. They see Allah's manifestation. They see Allah's expression. They see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is behind that, the source of that. Everything speaks of Him. Everything tells of Him. Everything in me and outside of me tells me that He is.